rather than just trusting that music because he DM'd me very early on, knew what he was talking about. Shakes my head. It felt like we lost. I don't know why. You clearly didn't. It probably felt like you lost because you lost the first point, even though you guys won. No, you won the other two, but even though you lost the first point, you still should have won it. Okay. Next up, the Extremers, I believe. I'm not taking a break because I took a long break earlier. Extreme as Ace is the one we're watching. So let's correct that here. And the other one should be next up. Who's called Nyoxio? Okay, well I can do Nyoxio after that. Wait, no, I got Sebi. I almost forget. I always forget about the Sebi Albiones because you just don't put them in the review channel. So I go to the review channel and I try to find us, and yours are never there. just put them there for the next time, so I know that they're. When I just look for them, they are there. Okay, so Extremas Ace. So I always say this: we play Zarya. That means our self bubble is to get energy, and our friendly bubble is to try to save someone. If you have a Rhine, you can use your friendly bubble for energy, but because we don't have a Rhine, you should use your self bubble to help your teammates and get value. Korea team. No Smurfs. I believe Extremas may be from. Did you say that? Hold on. Extremas. Must stop that job being enemy tanks on the bull. I think my tracking bubble management positioning needs work. I usually go high ground, but in Busan I didn't find a good place. That's because Busan is not generally a brawl map. It is on Mega Tower. Mega Tower is really good for brawling, but other than that, not a brawl map. So right click jumping, I'm fine with it. We don't need to do it anymore. At this point, you should be shooting at them instead, because you can shoot this way. Yeah, you could have gotten like 2 to 3 right clicks. Even without charge, it's still... even if you don't have damage charge, it's still all charge for you. You use the self bubble and take the damage, so again, self bubble too early. I say again because I've said these things a million times when it comes to Zarya. And again, you bubble the... I can't really tell, your problem is bubble management. You are just getting no value out of your bubbles. No matter how good your tracking is, if you don't build charge, it's just not gonna work. Don't just bubble the ball when he's up there. The moment you bubble the ball is when he pile drives. Because when he pile drives, he's gonna get focused down, or if he gets CC'd, or if he gets stunned or hacked or anything like that, right? Other than that, you shouldn't be bubbling him. You should just be bubbling whoever goes in to try to help them get value. Like, if Genji goes in, you can bubble the Genji to try to get value, right? Like, you could have, if he got hooked, you could have bubbled him, but now you don't have it. Also, they did miss the hook. But look at your energy. You are getting literally no value out of your bubbles. You get some value out of that one, but again, wait until you start taking damage before bubbling. For 2 reasons. The first reason is that if you wait until you start taking damage before you bubble, if you wait until you start taking damage before you bubble, it both guarantees that you, or at least it makes it more likely, that you'll get value out of your bubble, and also it lets your regen kick in because you've got shield health. So while you're bubbled, your shield will start regenerating. That's an okay bubble. You bubble the Genji when he dashes. So I'm a lot more okay with that one than just randomly bubbling the Hammer. And your aim is not bad. Like, your aim is pretty good. So your aim is... I remember you say you were doing aim practicing. Definitely not. The problem is definitely not your aim. The problem is probably your bubble management. Like, yeah, you're hard charged now, but that's just for 2.5 bubble rotations. With one rotation, you should be at 80. By using both bubbles once, you should be at, if not at 80, at like 70 plus. You are just using them too early right now. I like this. Spamming long range is good. Spamming long range. Again, why you bubble so early? It's only a Zarya shooting at you. And once she sees you've got bubbles, she's gonna stop. Right? Even if she wasn't booped away, when you bubble, she's not gonna shoot at you. She knows that she's not going to kill you by herself. So she's not gonna shoot at you to try to break your bubble. And you are gonna get no value out of the bubble. By the way, that's when you could have bubbled the Hammond. You can see that he's already lost like 200 health. And also bubble his shields. So you can bubble the Hammond when he goes for pile drive. You go late on that one. Again, pile drive is the moment you do it. When he pile drives, when he hits the ground, ideally you can pile him on the way down. Because when he hits the ground, is usually when he gets his seed. So when he starts going for the pile drive, that's a good moment to bubble. Like, you could have bubbled there as well, and you probably would have gotten bubble value. But now it's too late, and this is a bad bubble. You got no value out of that one. Your energy is still good from the fight you did get your 2 bubbles in. And your tracking is really good, and that was a good bubble. Because you saw a Zarya rocket coming your way. A fire rocket coming your way. So I'm okay with that one. No need, like, what's shooting at him? What's gonna stop him right now? There's literally no reason for you to be using bubbles right now. Grab, by the way. I would just grab and win the fight. You killed the Roadhog, but did he not PC? He did. I don't know why he didn't heal, honestly. You're right when you say that their tanks were a lot worse. No offense meant, but that Roadhog should not have died there with his babe active. But at the same time, I would just have grabbed the 3 of them, killed them, win the fight. Bubble gets no value. Like, again, your energy is high, but that's only because you got one very long fight when you could use like 2.5 rotations of bubbles. 2.5 rotations of bubbles, and you got your energy up to 80. So now you're getting like 20 or even under 20 energy from each of your bubbles. Like, some of the bubbles are getting no value, but because your energy was already high, you are compensating for it by not dying. And because your team is just kinda rolling them. I don't know why you sent me this one. Thus far, it just kinda looks like a roll. And even though you guys are rolling them, I can still tell your bubble usage is really bad. Like, if you had lost the first fight, or if you had died during the first fight, your energy right now would be at like 20 at most, and you would be getting no value. I'm okay with that grab. We shouldn't have nanobladed that, but I'm okay with the grab itself. Again, that bubble gets no value. You're just bubbling the ball whenever you see the ball. If you're gonna bubble the ball, wait for the ball to pile drive. That's like the only moment when you want to bubble the ball. Or if it gets like hooked. If he gets hooked, or if he gets frozen, or if he gets hacked, you can bubble him then. But other than that, just pile drive. Paul can handle himself outside of that. You should be saving your bubbles to build for your supports and enable your DPS. Because Ball is not the type of hero that tanks by absorbing a lot of damage like Ryan does, yeah? Ryan soaks up all of the damage and enables his team and creates space by doing that. Ball is just a disruption hero. He goes, he creates chaos, and he gets out. And he doesn't actually want to take damage, he just wants to get out. So you can enable him both to take less damage when he pile drives, because it's the one time when he's very vulnerable, and you can stop him from getting CC'd. So that's the time when you want to bubble the ball. And honestly, outside of that, if he doesn't get CC'd in any way, you probably don't want to bubble him. If he gets hooked, if he gets hacked, it's fine to bubble him. And by the way, we are still getting little no value. Like, why would you self-bubble here? Well, you are getting little no value out of your bubbles. You got 10 value out of that one. Why are you bubbling the Lucio? Lucio's not gonna die. Lucio's not even taking damage. And your aim is actually really good. Again, no value bubble. Again, just literally getting no value from your bubbles. That's the biggest thing right now. You're getting no value from your bubbles. You bubble yourself here. Now you already have it. Also, because you wasted your bubble earlier, you didn't have it here where it could have actually been useful. But you guys get the point. So, yeah, I can already tell you, this is the problem. You're getting 0 value out of your bubbles. This is a good Zarya map, so we can play Zarya very simply here. Right clicks is fine, but at this point, again, at this point is where I would just start spamming rather than right click going. Our trace is already dead, that's unlucky. Why are you self-bubbling? Like, there are not many people looking at you. And yeah, you took a little damage, but it was only from one person. One person will stop shooting you if they see bubble. Again, you're just getting no value out of... Why did you bubble the ball? No, just bubble the Lucio in front of you. And you got 15 charge out of that bubble. Instead, if you bubble the ball, who's going in, Paul, he's already missing 100 health and he's going to be missing more. Yeah, look at that. Should have bubbled the ball when he was going in with the pal drive. He's going to die. You could have saved that ball. But instead, you're just wasting your bubbles and getting no value out of them. Like, that's the biggest thing. Your aim is actually really good. And your ults have not been bad. They haven't been... I've only seen one grab. But your aims have been okay, and your positioning has been okay. It's just mostly the bubbles, man. You're just throwing it out there whenever you have them. Like, yeah, you bubble a Tracer, but that's not gonna get you a ton of bubbles. Tracer can just blink out. Like, we are 3 rotations deep and we only have 50 energy. Now here you can bubble. I'm okay with that one. You got 30 out of... You got somewhere around 30 out of that one. 25, I think it was. And it enables you to kill their Zarya. So I'm fine with that one. But I think that's the first value bubble you get. Not all in charge, but also because it gives you the advantage over their Zarya. Who... Did you... I think you bubbled someone there and I didn't... Oh no, it was a Tracer. It just has a longer cooldown. You use bubble, I'm okay with this one because you got a monkey on top of you, right? Now that you got a monkey and the Nash and the Genji, they're all shooting, I'm fine with that one. But you never use your friendly bubble to save anyone. So you're losing this fight, probably. You should lose this fight at least. Again, the bubble on the Lucio was just desperation. So not much you can do about that one. You're still alive and you kill yourself rather than letting them kill you. So again, I think you're a pretty good player. Like, you could easily be a diamond if you got value out of your bubbles. Like, your aim is definitely there. Your position is pretty solid. You got good survivability, but your bubbles are just getting nothing done. Think about it. I'm gonna give you this advice. Before, like, look at your composition. Right now, when you died. You got 10 seconds, right? Because you died, look at your composition. Who's gonna be able to use your bubbles and when? Well, Baptiste, when he gets Steven, right? Tracer, if she goes in too far. But again, Tracer can kinda handle herself. So unless it's about to die, you don't have to. Symmetra, who's gonna be on the front line, because that's what she does. With her little beam. Bzz, bzz, bzz. So if Symmetra goes low, you can use your bubble to save the Symmetra. And of course, Ball, when he pile drives. Or if he gets CC, but they don't have any CC. Oh, if he gets left, I guess. But yeah, Ball, when he pile drives, is your best choice. But you can still do Baptiste if he gets Divan. And Symmetra if she goes slow. Right? And you, by thinking about it, you will instinctively do it when you see the opportunities arise, right? And you will be less likely to do it when it's just randomly using them. Like, this is a safe Baptiste. Why are you bubbling the safe Baptiste? He's not gonna take a ton of damage. He's gonna be fine. You got 11 charge out of that. Here you're just gonna bubble yourself. Yeah, and again, oh, you actually do get a little more charge because the Ash shot anyway, but you only got like 30 charge out of that, and you could have gotten more. Like if you had bubbled here instead, it would have given you 40 charge and 200 HP. Both things. By bubbling when you did, you only got 30 charge, which is obviously less than 40, and you couldn't make use of the 200 HP extra you got. That's a good beat from us, and again, I don't know why you're bubbling the Lucio here. Lucio's not going to die during beat. Like, Lucio shouldn't even be a target we try to bubble. Chase Diana, chasing Diana is good job. Self bubble. Okay, so you bubble here, you get about 30 charge, which is okay. And instead, bubble here, where you also get like 40 charge, or even if you get only 30 charge, you also get the 200 HP from the bubble, so you can stay here longer. They blade. I guess you bubble to save. You know what? I take it back. You bubble to save him from the blade, so this is actually a good bubble. I take it back. I don't think he was even going for the Lucio, but I like it anyway because, well, yeah, he beats and you bubble to try to save him from the blade. At least I think that was the reasoning. So, you know what? I'm fine with it. Then you self bubble to cleanse, I believe. And you take some damage. I'm fine with grab. It shouldn't have been necessary, but I'm fine with it. Like, I don't think you had to use it, but you know what? Might as well sometimes. Kill the Zarya, kill the Zarya. When you got like 5 charge left, just right click. It's a free right click. It's more damage for free basically. I'll show you it in the practice range later. I've done it a million times actually. Kill the Genji, kill the Genji. You reacted a little later. You should have been shooting at the Genji. Like as soon as he got out of spawn. Right click CD. Just right click, just right click. No need to bubble the ball. Save your bubbles, you don't need them right now. You are already at 90 charge, you don't have to use bubbles for charge. Imagine having your bubble now. You get healed. Again, I'm afraid you're just gonna stand here and use the bubble when you shouldn't. Like if you want to cleanse, you can use the self bubble. If he gets a hook, I don't think he did, but if he gets a hook, you bubble it. Pile drive, you bubble it. Good bubble. You can see that you got value and you allowed the ball to get out safe. So that's pretty decent bubble. Man. Bubble and value are 2 words that are too close to be this important when doing a Zarya review. Good, again, your aim is pretty good. The problem is definitely not your aim. That's a wasted grab. Never mind. I didn't even notice the Lucio there. Did he run in? Was he hidden by the Genji? Anyway, what I meant to say is 1-5. We used 1 ult already? Yeah, it wasn't. Did the Lucio? Oh, he gets stuck and runs into the grab. Well, I think he's trying to run away from the Ana and runs into the grab. So that's very unlucky. But in either case, like, I think the fight was already won. When you killed their Zarya, we shouldn't have invested 3 ultimates into it. And this one went before this one. So yeah, the Lucio just runs it into the Genji. You're taking a 1v2 by the way, so that's definitely not in your favor. The fight is won, but you should be with your team. You may actually lose this 1v2, but you back out. I'm fine with it. I'm not fine with the 1v2, but you should be backing out with your team. Or pushing the Ashe if you know she's there, but you don't. You don't have self-bubble, now you do. You self-bubble, survive, back out. I like this. Positioning is really good as well. Like you're playing from corner to corner, so pretty solid. I don't know why you bubbled that one. There was no reason for it. Imagine how you bubble now instead. You could have tried to save the mana point. Either way, fight is lost. Though they nano grab. This is nowhere near close though. You guys are just kind of rolling them. Why are we trickling in? Group up, group up. This is the first time I've noticed a big problem. We are already at 99%. The fight is lost. Like there is no way we're winning this, but we are giving them just like free ult charge by going in and dying one by one. Get out. They shouldn't have even have gone in to begin with. Now just out. Yeah. That's fine. Just give them the point. Tell your team to group up. Tell your team to group up if you have to. Don't go out. Don't go out. Just stay here. Just stay here. Wait for your team. No, just wait for your team. Just wait for your team. I don't like this. You're playing too aggro, and you at higher ranks you will get punished for playing too this far away from your team. Your team is now with you, but you were just here for a while, and your team is still coming back. So don't do that. Wait for your team, then go in. And if the ball wants to feed, let him feed. He missed a hook. He could have killed you with that hook. Good bubble. Grab the Genji. He's to your left, behind you. Just grab the ground. Grab the ground. Grab the ground. That's... You could have bubbled the Moira there. Saved her from the Genji. But you don't. And she's still fine because she had Fade. Don't bubble her after Fade though, right? Like if she fades away, she doesn't need bubble anymore. But she's still a 1 HP, so it's okay, but not ideal. You get killed by Hainon. And again, we are just playing, we are not grouping up. We shouldn't be going in. Like our VOD went in, then we went in and used resources. Then our team started to go in, and we should really group up and go together. If your ball wants to feed and die, let him feed and die, or let him feed, get out, and then be ready to go in again, rather than just... Ball goes in, okay, I'm gonna help him get out, and when he's away, we're gonna take the engagement. Or they're just gonna bring us the engagement. And we're gonna fight like 5v6 while the ball is off doing something, or even 4v6, because we still got the... whoever it is that was coming back. Look at this, we literally gave them 40% for free by not regrouping. And we are going in again, and our team is not ready to go in. Like you got 1-1, Lucio is just doing whatever he can on point. You got Tracer on the backline, you are here with the Symmetra, but look at it from above. Your team is not ready to go in. Morso, what's your... Morse with you? Just there's no coordination here, and I know it's gonna be difficult to get coordination at lower ranks, but your ball has already gone in, right? Your Lucio has already gone in, your Tracer is already in, and now you guys are going in. Do you see what I mean by your guys are just not grouping up? You got 3 people here, and 3 people are already in the fight that have used all of their resources. So basically these 3 are in the process of maybe we should get out because I have no more cooldowns left. And you 3 are in the process of, hey, let's go forward. We have all of our cooldowns. Good grab. Again, ideally though, you would not even be going in right now. You would be waiting for your team to regroup properly. So yeah, we just have no resources right now. And you see the Tracer went out and Lucio went to get health. The ball kinda can stay on point, but he has no resources. Like if he cannot pile drive and he cannot swing and he cannot shield, he cannot fully invest into the fight. And your grab just got no value because of it. So, group up. Like the first point, you guys won handedly, and that I could say was bubbles. On the second one, I can tell you group up. Because you're going in with 2, maybe 3 people at a time. And it's not entirely on you, but you're also just leading people. You're a tank player, right? If you got 2 people behind you and you go in, they're gonna follow you. And if you're going in at the wrong time, because, well, your ball is way deep and you're trying to help him, then your team is basically committing to a fight that's already one person down. Because the ball either dies or gets out. He's not going to be able to stay in the fight without cooldowns. The same happened here. Your team followed you, like, you got you, Zarya, and Moira, and you just went in, right? And you use Crab and you try to get value, but your ball was in the process of, like, I have no cooldowns, I cannot do anything. Your Tracer was getting the fuck out, your Lucio was going to get help. So, you basically led your team to a 6v3 fight. 3.5 if you want to count a ball that didn't go away but doesn't have any cooldowns. So, yeah, just even if you have to give them time, even if you have to give them an extra 10 seconds, or 10%, it's the same thing, just regroup. Same thing here, you were like, just gonna go all the way here and bubble the ball, so that the ball can get out, and then they pressure me, and we are fighting a 64, I think it was. I think someone was still coming from respawn, and of course your ball was not in engagement. So you are leading your team into disadvantageous fights, because you're playing, well, 6v4, because you are helping your ball get away, but not waiting for him to regroup. Honestly, I would say, you should have just played here and let your ball die, and then you can regroup with the ball and not go in on a 6v6. Instead, you're just going in 6v4, or 6v3, when you went out this way, right? So those are on you. It's not entirely your fault, because your ball is just kind of feeding, or just at least going in when his team is nowhere near him. But if you let him die, you can regroup. Or if you let him get out, then he can come back to your team and regroup. But let him do that by himself. You can just wait in a safe position. Like, if you're playing here, your Moira is not going to go all the way here and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go forward by myself. But if you're playing here, your Moira is going to come to you and be like, well, my Zarya is here, I have to help the Zarya. You are a tank. Even if you're an off-tank, you are still marking the positioning of your team, especially when you've got the ball, because the ball is not going to be with your team. That's fine. Reaper touches, he dies. Moira touches, she dies. Tracer touches, she dies. You touch, you die. Ball touches, ball dies. So yeah, that was not entirely on you, but you could have definitely helped get your team to victory, because you were 99 to 30, and all you guys kept doing is you kept taking like a 6v4 and a 6v3, and you lost like 60% between these disadvantageous fights, and those are on you. I like that you're playing behind cover. I like that your tracking is really good. You're trying to play safe when you have to, and you aggro when you have to. But the biggest problem is that you are getting no value out of these. And again, I don't think those are, like, this is your fault. This one is on you. You can do something to fix this. On some teams, maybe you'll get teams that will just tell you, hey, group the fuck up. Someone in the team has to do it, and you should be the one doing it, because, well, you're playing Zarya and you got the ball. So you're basically the front line of your team. So if you go in, your team will follow you. Again, think about it. When the Doomfist goes in, you can bubble him. When the Reaper goes in for a flank, you can bubble him. When the Mercy gets driven, you can bubble her. When the ball pile drives, you can bubble. You can even look at their team, right? If the Hawk hooks someone, you can bubble. If the McCree stuns someone at close range, you can bubble. If the Ana sleeps or nades someone, you can bubble, if they are in danger. Don't just bubble a random sleep or nade. That will do nothing. I'm okay with that bubble. Again, you took like 100 damage, and then you bubbled, and then you kept taking damage, but it gave you charge. So that's a good one. That's a bad bubble, because again, your ball is going up and away from their team. Like, look at where your ball... Okay, let me just... Like, your ball did this. He grappled here, and he was going up. So you bubble this. He's not going to engage on that. He's got to come back out or roll it into them and then pile drive, right? So just way too early on that bubble. And you got literally no value out of it. Again, wait for your ball to pile drive, because when he pile drives, that's the best moment to bubble. Here you can bubble the Reaper. You don't. You know what? I'm fine with that bubble in the Lucio. Lucio shouldn't need it, but I'm fine with it because he's being shot. So yeah, he probably would not have died because, well, he's Lucio. He can just get out. But I like it because at least it gave you charge. And the fight is probably won. Focus on Diana, so good target priority. And you keep shooting Diana. Keep shooting Diana if you can. This is unlucky, but I was gonna say you can set bubble, but you cannot. Tracking is decent. Swap to McCree, not the best target, but also the one available to you. And your tracking is really good. But again, we've gone through like 6 bubbles and we got 20 energy. Look at that, your tracking is pretty solid. You bubble the ball, he's going for a ball drive. So you bubble so he doesn't get hooked. Or you bubble when he gets hooked. Yeah, that's okay. You should have bubbled earlier, but it was still okay. Not perfect, but okay. He misses his hook. You bubble and go aggro. I like this. You didn't go aggro. Like, if you're gonna bubble for energy, you should step forward behind the cover. Instead, you just step behind the cover. I would have walked here, bubbled out here, and then go back. Instead, you just bubble here and stayed here, and you didn't get a ton of value. That's a bubble, by the way. He's going to pal drive. You get some value out of bubbling the Doom, but Doom was not going in. He was going out, and you could have saved your ball from the high noon. Can't bubble too early. You're not taking damage. Bubble the Doom too late because you should bubble after when he punches, not after he punches. But still okay because it prevents hook. So again, you're getting some okay bubbles. I have not seen a great bubble. That's a lie. I have seen a couple great bubbles, but most of your bubbles are between like okay and bad. Bad getting 0 charge and okay getting like 20 charge. And I've seen very few good bubbles, which is getting 40 charge. And I've seen 0 great bubbles, which is getting 40 charge and using 200 health. Because this is also part of the value of the bubble. So you've got some good bubbles when you got 40 charge, right? When you got 40 charge. But you haven't gotten any good bubbles when you also make good use of the health. Good grab, honestly. We use ultimates, you can kill that. Bubble the ball. Bubble the ball, bubble the ball. You didn't bubble the ball. You could have allowed them to pal drive if you bubbled. Don't bubble the Lucio. Lucio's not the focus of their team. Like, you got 10 charge and no... Lucio still has a lot of health. Again, that was a bad bubble. Instead, you should have added for when the ball pal drive. That's unlucky. You cannot win those. That team just wins this fight. Just time point, yeah. Good bubble on the Doom. Honestly, no, just good. I was gonna say you did get some value out of the health, but you also didn't get 40 charge. Again, just lost fight. We just try to stall for as long as possible. Stall. We get it to 75 if we can. 73 is good enough. Now we regroup. Again, let the ball die if you have to. No, don't go in. Oh my god, don't go in. Don't go in. This is why. Because as it turns out, right, this is what I mean. I don't want you to do this because you are wasting your cooldown. Yeah, you may get 40 charge, and it may be an okay bubble, but you're not getting any value out of the bubble health. And I'm fine with this, but this means you cannot engage for another like 8 seconds. And if you engage during those 8 seconds, and your team goes in with you, not only are you down a ball, but also your team is going in 6 before, right? So right now, what you're telling your team is, hey, I'm here, I'm just standing here, If I go aggro now, we lose. But you really have to be aware that you've got to retreat immediately. Okay, I'm actually okay with this. But again, that's just it's fine. Actually, it's okay. I just didn't want you to go aggro and be like, team, let's go now, because that's what you've done like more than once. No, we are still doing it. Like, don't make a rotation. Just stand here. By going this way, you are telling your team, hey, let's go this way. And your team is going this way. And then you're backing out away again. And you're going main again. And look at your team. They are trying to follow you. And the Mercy almost died for it, actually. So don't mark a rotation. By standing here and using your bubble, you're basically telling your team, I'm ready to go in. You're not ready to go in, and you know that. But your team doesn't. Then you just, if you want to do this, then you just back here and play here for a few seconds until everyone is ready. What you did was you did this, and then you went all the way here. I don't know why, but you think about what it means for your team, right? Because you are the front line. Imagine if instead of Zarya, you were Reinhardt. Imagine just holding your shield here. What is your team gonna think? Your team is gonna think, okay, we're pushing main. Then Ryan goes this way, right? And the team thinks, okay, we're going this way. But then you come back, and the team thinks, oh, okay, we're going main again. And the Mercy is left behind, and she almost dies. Think about it from if you have Zarya Ball or Zarya Monkey or anything like that, you are basically the front line of the team. Even with Zarya Hog, you can still be the front line of the team. So the team is gonna follow where you go. And you are leading them way too early in. Decent bubble rotation there. You got a little charge at least. Sorry, good bubble rotation there. You did get 80 charge out of them. Just going by the names I said for it earlier. But we should be looking to bubble someone. It's a lost fight. They press Q, they press Q, they press Q. We lose. We don't use any ults, we just regroup. Just die and regroup. Or get out if you can because of energy, but you are not gonna get out. Yep. Okay. We group up and we go. We group up and we go. Just is your team ready to go? Is my question. Well, no. Now, Bob really wants to set up a flank. No. And yet, you are going. Again, think of it like if you're Reinhardt and you were walking forward here, your team is gonna try to follow you because they're gonna be like, this is our tank, this is our front line. I have to help them get value. I have to enable them. But the rest of your team is nowhere near in position. Like McCree is finishing his rotation. You should give him at least 2 more seconds to get ready. Soldier's coming back. Is that a Soldier? No, that's a Reaper. Reaper's coming back. Give him 2 seconds to get his Wraith back. Or to finish his rotation as well, since he's teleported to the high ground. Like, look at how early you're going. Reaper's not ready yet. McCree just got to his place. That's a good grab. But again, your team is not really able to go yet. Your ball is also just in the middle of his rotation, right? Your ball is this. Or he may have done this, I didn't pay attention to the ball. But he's still in rotation, he's still rolling, he's not pile driving yet, he's not engaged, he's not ready. Yes, you grab both tanks, but their team is here. You got 2, McCree here playing a little bit far fine, but McCree can play from there. And the Genji's here because he was chasing ball. He shouldn't have, but he's still in the fight. And your team is now kinda with you. But you could have killed people in the grab if you had waited 2 more seconds. Instead, you get like... Imagine if you had waited for the Reaper to be ready before grabbing, right? You grab, you blossom, you kill everyone. Instead, you grab too early because Reaper was nowhere near yet. And now Reaper's forced to blossom in the middle of the team. Kills one, constant speed, so that's pretty good. Gets hooked and die. You could have gotten a lot more value out of that grab. Again though, great tracking, you fucked up that Genji good. I'm okay with you, like Lucio doesn't need bubble, but in this case you're kinda just using him to try to block damage coming your way. They grab, but it should be a 1 fight, so that's pretty good. For real though, I think the biggest thing right now is you are getting no value out of this, and you are going too early. again, think about when you're the front line, when you're playing Zarya ball and you're the front line, and this will happen a lot if you play Zarya, because a lot of players in the ladder will choose either ball or Roadhog, and Roadhog just goes for flanks and hooks, right? So you are the front line of your team. Ask the question: if I were playing Reinhardt instead, what would my thing do when I do this? Not during the game, obviously, because during the game you just have to act immediately. You don't have a lot of time to think. Always, the best advice I can give you to think is consider, well, will my team need my bubbles when you're in spawn or when you're coming from the dead? When you're respawning or at spawn before the game, you think like, okay, if McCree gets Steven, he will need a bubble. If Mercy gets Steven, she will need a bubble. If the both pile drives, he will need a bubble. If the Reaper gets his seed or he goes in too deep, he will need a bubble. If Roadhog cooks someone, if McCree stuns someone, they will also need bubbles. And if they nano blade, our Mercy would probably need a bubble. Or if they just blade, they don't have nano. Bubble the Reaper is good there because, hey, Reaper's frontlining, right? And he's taking out direct engagement, so that's good. You got no value out of yourself, so I don't even know when you used it. I wasn't paying attention. Again, taking no damage way too early. Very, very bad bubble. I'm like, please don't do that. You're getting no value out of your bubbles, and this you got great aim and good positioning, but you are getting no value out of your bubbles. You used both bubbles and got 50 charge, and this was like 5 charge, 40 charge, right? Or well, I guess it was like 10 charge, 40 charge. Because your Reaper took all of the damage there. That was a good friendly bubble, but that was an awful personal bubble. Okay, track is okay. Bubble the Reaper again. Yeah, that's good. You get 30 charge and you get value out of it by a health. So that's good. He gets shot. That's unlucky. You self-bubble while going out, which is very bad because once you're out, your bubble gets no value as well. I think you were like 77. So you got 15 charge out of your self-bubble. So again, not great because you were both going out and bubble. If you're gonna bubble while retreating, just bubble here and keep retreating when your bubble breaks. You're gonna die to this Lucio, which is, you know what? Great tracking. So you don't die to Lucio and you manage to get out with the... I was gonna say it's okay, the fight is lost, but you managed to get out with your energy, which is actually huge. This may change the next fight. That you managed to get out with your charge. Because now you don't even have to use your self bubble for charge. You don't need a bubble rotation to get charge. You just get it. Like grab. Grab to prevent him from getting value, then just kill. Grab. Good grab. Right click him, that's good. I'm fine with that grab. I'm fine with the self bubble. Bubble the ball, yep. And because you are high charge, you do a lot of damage and you still got your self bubble if you need it. Nice. You win the fight. You have credit a lot there as well, but you guys won the fight. That was very good. Good grab on the... Like, even though you didn't kill anyone in the grab, preventing him from getting value from his ultimate is great. Because if you had created a lot of space, then you would have a very hard time pushing into them. But you grabbed him and he didn't get that much value out of it. Again, at this point it's just clean up, so bubbles are fine, whatever you want. Just focus down the ball. And you win this. And yes, this was a lot closer than it should have been. Hold on, I wonder when I hit play. So, first thing first, bubble value. Stop using them so early. You're basically thinking, oh, they are looking my way, I'm gonna take damage, bubble. Or you're going like, oh, my ball is going somewhere, I'm gonna bubble him. Don't do that. Like, a good way of doing it, like I said earlier, is for your friendly bubble, for your E bubble, think about when your team will need it. That will help you realize when you have to use it. Like when you're in spawn, look at your team composition and be like, okay, when will I need it? And if you die at some point, you can look at their team composition and be like, when will I need it based on what they can do? Like if they hook someone, I will need it. If they stun someone, I will probably need it. If McCree is Steven, I'll probably need it. If Paul pile drives, I'll probably need it. And for your personal, just don't use it until you're taking like 100 health of damage. Or maybe even 50. But don't use it just when you've taken like 10 or 20 damage. Because that's just poke random damage. It's not like someone's shooting at you. You really want to like ideally lose 100 health, then bubble so you get 200 health, right? And 40 charge. And your health recharges. So you actually get 250 health from your bubble, 200 from the bubble, and 50 from the shield recharge, and you get 40 charge. This is an ideal bubble, where you get health recharge, or even like 100 health if you're being healed, right? You get 200 health of damage done to you, and you get 40 charge. That's ideal bubble. And the other one is exclusively when you are not playing with a Reinhardt. Because if you're playing with a Reinhardt, then Reinhardt sets the pace. But when you're not playing with a Reinhardt, think that your team is going to follow you most likely as the front line. So yeah, think about the consequences of your actions for your team. Because you are leading your team to disadvantageous fights. And I don't think you are meaning to lead your team to disadvantageous fights. I think you're just trying to poke, which is okay. But by standing in aggressive places when you poke, your team is like following you all the way there and being like, hey, are we engaging? Are we going? Are we going? Yeah, let's go. You're Zarya, right? You're frontline, you're going, we have to go. So yeah, that's the short story of it. But your aim is actually really good, and your positioning is solid. So I do think that stop wasting your bubbles and you can make it to diamond, easy. Alright, let's take a short break, because my throat is killing me. BRB. Fuck. I'm back, I think, but I'm also think I'm gonna call it for today because my throat is just killing me. Sebi, I know I said I would do yours today, but I plan to do it. I usually do 3. Hold on, let me draw on the screen. Let's go to the other thing. I usually do 3-hour streams, but it is like 2:20 and my throat cannot go any longer. So I will do a stream tomorrow at 15 EST, and I'll do yours first, yeah? So now you know, Sabi. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. EST, you'll get yours. And then I'll do whatever is on the review channel. I'm not gonna cut it short for today though, because my throat is just killing me. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow.